Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Cue the famous Donald Trump clip.
Everything woke turns to shit, okay?
Everything woke goes to you-know-what. Holy moly, I honestly didn't think I'd be making this video, but the Bud Light situation just went from bad to worse. I mean, let's do a quick summation. Bud Light goes woke, takes it way too far, loses $6 to $7 billion in market cap almost instantly, faces a major consumer boycott, sales representatives say they just simply can't move the product, no one's buying it anymore, independently owned liquor stores are banning Bud Light from the shelves, major brand ambassadors, celebrities, and artists are removing their product from their tour buses, smashing Bud Light cans on stage. Every single major retail grocery store seems to have Bud Light, Budweiser, and pretty much anything else under the Anheuser-Busch label on mega sale. The inventory is simply not moving. Bud Light then issues a terrible, weak-worded, absolutely pathetic non-apology apology, then does a complete 180, and under the Budweiser brand, airs a real patriotic ad, America, to try to backtrack and desperately turn the whole thing around. That's the story so far, that's the timeline, and then to add more bad news for Anheuser-Busch, well, the parent company is now facing a legal complaint and possibly a lawsuit from America First Legal. Things go from bad to worse. As Donald Trump says, everything woke goes to ish. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so take a look at the headline. Anheuser-Busch accused of racist hiring practices under cloak of equity. Complaint. Anheuser-Busch, the maker of Bud Light, is being accused of discriminatory practices related to programs aimed at providing opportunities to minorities and women. America First Legal, a conservative legal group set up by former Trump advisor Stephen Miller, filed a federal civil rights complaint against the brewing company with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. In a letter to the EEOC, America First Legal said the woke company proudly discriminates based on race, color, national origin, and sex under the cloak of equity. It cited the company's Leadership Accelerator program, which provides mentorship, executive interaction, and other opportunities but excludes white and Asian Americans. This is not a regular corporate program, rather the company describes the role as focusing on hiring the next generation of leaders within the North American Sustainability and Procurement Department, the letter states. In other words, it is a fast-track program to executive leadership positions at Anheuser-Busch, and it is limited to candidates based on race. The pro forma equal opportunity employer language at the end of the posting does mask the company's discriminatory intent and purpose. Once again, you get woke, you better be prepared for the consequences. And also, it's time to finally be launching more legal action, more legal complaints and lawsuits directly targeting these clear discriminatory woke practices. Affirmative action programs for hiring people or even giving people upward movement opportunities based purely on race and gender. They claim it's woke, they claim it's equity, anti-discrimination, but what it is clearly is discrimination. Straight up discrimination against white and Asian males. The leftist stance on this issue, of course, is that you can't discriminate against white people, especially not white males, because they're supposedly the people in power. They generally label discrimination targeting white people as this conspiracy of, quote, reverse racism, which they claim doesn't exist, but the only thing that doesn't exist is reverse racism. It's just racism. And in this case, sexism as well. And their argument also doesn't hold up because Asian men are included as well. You can be a white or Asian male, do everything right, work your behind off to achieve as much as you can, to perform as well as you can, to produce actual results, foot in the door, fail to even get the opportunity, not based on merit, not based on your actual resume or what you've done or how qualified you are for the job or the position, but simply because of physical characteristics which you cannot control. That, my friends, is the definition of discrimination and racism, regardless of what the woke mob wants you to believe. And it's created this perverse, twisted system that people like Elizabeth Warren try to game. You know, there's a reason Elizabeth Warren marked herself as a Native American on her application to Harvard. Actually, there's a viral clip with Candace Owens and a woke professor on Dr. Phil's show from maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that hits the nail directly on the head.
You know, I'm of mixed background. What am I supposed to mark on an application? Am I supposed to mark multiple boxes? And plus, if you are painting people as an oppressor, if you're white,
that's a terrible thing to tell someone to do.
Well, it's the truth because you believe in affirmative action. So I said mark black. If you're a mixed student, I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can speak to this. I have a son that's half white and a son that's half black and a daughter that's half white and half black. They're going to mark black because I know that there are people like you at the universities who will say, well, because this person is black, I'm just going to let them in.
No, they're going to mark black because they're black.
Well, they're half black and half white. They're both, right? So it is true. You overlook
yes, I'm half black and half
so
white.
you overlook interracial students.
But
so
why?
what do you mean? Why are you saying they're going to mark black?
I've socialized in our society.
So the answer is if you can't, I mean, you can mark both. Can you mark both? I don't know if you can.
Yes.
What are you going to look at that applicant as a little bit less because they're half white? How do you guys figure that out?
How they look at it is, again, holistically across a number of different factors.
I love me a buzzword. Holistically and racial consciousness.
Oh, yeah? Reverse discrimination. There's a buzzword.
It's not reverse discrimination. It's just discrimination. It's just racism if you're judging people on the basis of their skin color. I don't know why this is so difficult. I mean, you have to go through an extraordinary amount of school. You almost have to have a PhD to not be able to see this.
It's just racism. That's what it is. It's discrimination, and frankly, it should be illegal. Now, you're never going to be able to make implicit bias or hiring biases illegal themselves. The actual recruiters and the people who are hiring you for a job, it's possible they have personal biases, and it's possible that frankly, they discriminate against people based on immutable characteristics. That's honestly something you're never going to be able to change. An Asian business wanting to hire Asian people, a feminist business wanting to hire women, a white person discriminating against other races in their hiring practices, or a black-owned company doing the same thing. I mean, you just can't police that stuff. But major corporations and major universities, where it's happening on a macro level, not on an individual basis with individual recruiting agencies or individual recruiters who work for the company, but in a situation where the company as a whole creates a program explicitly hiring people based on gender and race and purposely excluding particular identities, that should absolutely be illegal. And technically, it already is. On the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's website, under Prohibited Employment Policies and Practices, it states, under the laws enforced by the EEOC, it is illegal to discriminate against someone, applicant, or employee because of that person's race, color, religion, or sex, including gender identity, sexual orientation and pregnancy, national origin, age, 40 or older, disability, or genetic information. It is also illegal to retaliate against a person because he or she complained about discrimination, filed a charge of discrimination, or participated in an employment discrimination investigation or lawsuit. So it's already illegal. But for some reason, the law is not enforced. There seems to be some weird gray zone where if you market the program with a bunch of woke social justice buzzwords like equity, inclusion, diversity, creating future leaders, and equal opportunity, while literally discriminating against people, it seems like you just get away with it. Well, no more. And Bud Light, I think, made a mistake here. They ended up drawing too much attention, and when you got skeletons in your closet, you should probably keep a low profile. They went publicly woke for the world to see. It caused massive backlash, and then the America First legal team set their sights on Bud Light, probably questioning, well, I wonder what we could find behind the hood. And would you look at that? Racist, discriminatory hiring practices. In other words, more wokeness, and as we know, everything that goes woke eventually goes broke. They're dealing with billions of dollars in losses, and now they might have to deal with a potential massive lawsuit. I only got one thing to say. Good. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here at the Liberal Hive Mind. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.